friend.
How you doing? Taboo conspiracy we have today. Let's chat.
Hey, can you
You
hear
hear
me?
me? I can hear you. Do you hear me?
Yes, I do.
I got a new microphone.
Oh, you're going all fancy. I wish I had one.
Yeah, no. I did a stream and the sound was choppy. It was fading in. Let me get a microphone. See if it works. So how's the sound?
Oh, it sounds good to me.
Okay, great. Hey, nice to see you again
It's
after.
good to see you as well. It's been a while since Romania.
Hey, last time t-shirt on, now I got it on. Like
I've
that.
almost worn mine out to threads, but I've worn it
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much.
that's fine, man. To to chat a little bit with you to see what else is going on. That you want to move to another state. I don't know if you want to it or
Yeah,
not.
we've been trying to move to Tennessee lately. The difficulty is that everyone else is trying to move to Tennessee, and so it's
Oh,
been actually
really?
quite difficult to find a place to live. Um,
Is it really? No, I thought since you said bought some land over there and you have a
yeah, we
place.
own the land, and we needed to rent a place while we build something, but
Uh-huh.
can't find anything to rent. It's been a real difficulty.
Are you
Just because
going
we have
the
dogs and such, and my wife's not going to give up the dogs.
Yeah, I know how it is, man. I would like, but for now it's nice. What is it? It's what kind
It's
of
an
dog is,
Irish setter.
and you can go hunting too with that,
Yeah.
right? With that one.
Why? Get down, sweetie.
Hey Ben, my dog. You know what my dog's name? Ask you what's his or her name? What is it? Is it a boy or a girl?
I wouldn't know.
No, the dog. The dog.
Oh,
Is it
mine.
a
Oh,
boy
I'm
or
sorry, talking about yours. Mine's a girl. Foxy is her
a girl?
name.
Yeah. I had a girl too. Yeah, she was. I, I used to say she's the only one that really loved me for me. The unconditional
You
love.
got her all
Yeah.
excited.
I know. You know what my dog's name was?
What's that?
It- Right. So we were going walking down the street. If somebody like a mother would call her child, right? She would.
Uh-huh.
And then my dog was all like this. You know.
Nice.
Yeah. So, man, I'd like to talk about um is a little bit sad, right? Because people lately, like Rob Skiba, uh, Rats,
Yeah,
and
it's been
I
just
think
it's sad that way.
I think there was somebody else I don't remember, but yeah, that's sad. And the new develop are you up to date with new develop best flat Earth proof with the
The
celestial
sextant?
navigation and the sextant? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was actually in contact with gosh, it's just slipped my mind. The Australian flat Earth
Oh, with
school.
Mitchell from
Mitchell from
Australia.
Australia. Sorry about that, buddy.
He he
Anyway,
did an
he was going to do a video for me where he does the audio, and I was going to let him, do the visual for it.
uh-huh.
I certainly, I mean, I think it's a proof of the flat Earth. I wouldn't call it the best proof, but that's me. I don't know. I don't
Well,
know why they
okay.
call it
Yeah,
the
well,
best.
so I I'll show you. we can talk about it. But
I
what
actually, I
else?
actually think that shadow proof is more.
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to mention. Hey, you got dissed by a guy of boob, the stupid guy, something like that, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
straw man
I
Bob is what I call him. But
right. Yeah, yeah. No, that's interesting. If I can share my screen here. Um, generic. Okay. I don't see anything. Do you see?
all I see is myself with looks like a mouse pointer on me.
Okay, so you see this. Let me see if I can put this down. You see my whole screen now?
Yeah, you see your home screen, your desktop.
Okay, perfect. Watch this. So everybody calls this the best flat Earth proof. Like we know that people are the water since thousands of years. Okay, but the thing at the beginning they would stay close to the shoreline until they realized that the between the position of the and the position of the observer on, there's like an angular relationship. They started to measure angles to when you measure an angle to a celestial body, it gives you a circle of equal altitude, right? So wherever you circle, you get the same angle. It's an elevation, all right? So if you measure at a certain time to a certain celestial body, then you know for sure a circle of equal elevation, and you know for sure that you are somewhere on this circle. You don't know exactly where. But then the astral body or the celestial body on the surface of the earth, it's geographic position, right? We call it GP. And given this relation with angles and triangles, then you can calculate the distance and the GP, and that distance becomes the rate of the circle of equal elevation. Now watch this. If you have two circles, then you know that circle for sure and on this circle for sure. But these two circles intersect, and they intersect only at 2 points. So down, right? Because if you're surrounded by water, you don't really know where you are. But if you measure the angles to two celestial bodies, it gives you two circles of altitude, and that narrows your position down to 2 points. So you can be either here. Now, if you have a continent close by, let's say, then enough, because you know you left yesterday and you couldn't make it this far. So, but to be sure, if you're out in the open ocean, angles to three celestial bodies, then you get of equal altitude, and then those three circles intersect in only one, okay, and that point is exactly your position. And then you have three geographic position GPs and celestial bodies. And you know what happened? Time people started to to mark these position, right? And they're called ephemerides. They can have, they can trace position of a star, and they can build a path, the surface of the Earth, so they know exactly at on what day where the geographic, where the projection of a certain celebrity on the surface of the Earth. And this way, if you know three positions, then you can sorry, calculate the distance to those positions with which of these circles, and then you establish exactly, you actually triangulate here the position of the stars. But here's the, in order to have a radius of a circle, well, that's a straight line, correct?
Yes.
So we'll go further and I'll show you the it works out. So this is how you pin your position on the Earth. The problem with the globers is the following: an elevation angle, by definition, elevation angle is the angle of from a horizontal plane. So by definition, elevation angle is the angle from an horizontal plane to through with the line of sight. Okay, so that's by definition. So you cannot measure an angle except from a uh, line or a straight or a plane, but elevation angle, it has to be a horizontal plane. Okay, and what they do is they say, okay, well, we agree that an elevation from a horizontal plane, and then what they do is, but we have a tangent plane. They draw a tangent plane to the Earth, and they say this is the way the angle is measured. It's measured on the tangent from the tangent plane, an elevation angle, this angle here. The problem is that when you do this, GP, the projection of the stars, if it falls on the same tangent plane, it doesn't fall on the surface of the Earth. Again, the GP is defined as the projection of the on the surface of the Earth. Now, if you would want to project this star on the, it would be here. You know, it wouldn't be, because they would say, okay, it's the normal, it's the local vertical. So that let's go further. We'll clarify it now. On if you take if you measure three angles of to three different stars, you get three equal altitude. But the problem is they're not in the same plane. It's curved. All the radii of these circles would make an angle with, but that cannot be, because if you're in this position, you're the observer. You take this, then you turn around and measure this angle. Well, you're on the same surface. You measure the elevation angle from a horizontal plane. So an angle from a horizontal plane in one direction, and then have a different horizontal plane at an angle to the first one. So it's all in the same plane. The circles of equal altitude in the same plane. Then they come up with this solution, okay? Well, the Earth is surrounded by a celestial sphere. Here is very, very, very big, so we can consider all on the celestial sphere. Although they say that the stars are different, right? But then they go further, one step further, and they say, comparison to the celestial sphere, Earth is so celestial sphere is so big that we can consider the Earth as being. So they reduce the size of the Earth to one. But then I say this, okay, now if we reduce the size of to one single point, then what's the reason for taking angles? Because all positions will come point, right? Because you're in one point, all positions will come back to the same point. There's no use of measuring angles if you're in one point only. And here, angle of elevation is defined as an angle between the horizontal plane and the line from the observer's eye to some object above. So that's it. Angle the same as altitude, okay? Let me fast forward. Okay, now there's another problem that solve, right? They say, okay, so we agree elevation has to be measured from a horizontal plane. So, what's going on? They say all the rays, all the light, they say from any celestial body, okay, it comes in parallel. Since it comes in parallel, it doesn't matter if we measure elevation from the surface of the Earth. It's actually the same angle of the Earth, okay, because of parallel lines. So they the measurement of the elevation angle to the Earth, all right? But look what they do here. They draw line through the center of the Earth, which gives them, okay, because because they need a horizontal plane to measure an elevation. Here they draw tangent, okay, a tangent plane. So they measure this angle on the surface, same angle as from the center of the Earth. All right, let's go. So here's the nitty-gritty of the angle to the stars. Now, when you measure an angle, right, you measure it from a horizontal plane. This is a horizontal plane. Of the star is on the GP, the geographic position. Here we have the celestial body. Here's the GP. Okay, everything till now. This is a 90-degree angle right here because projection means vertical. Now, let me see. This is the elevation angle or the, and the complement of the angle, which goes from the line of sight to the observer. Okay, so we have a 90 degrees angle here. The complement is 90 degrees minus the elevation angle, all right? And the zenith angle here, they also call it the zenith distance, okay? They say this is the zenith distance by the zenith angle in degrees, all right? So that means it's an angular size, right? Because an is just an apparent size which in degrees. The degrees are the same whether the distance is here or here, or that's the same. It has the same degrees, right?
Right.
But what I'm saying is actually the distance between the zeniths, right? The observers and the zenith of the GP of the celestial body. Now, let's go on. Okay, so here's what they did. In my opinion, is they did it empirically. They actually measured it. They determined that 1 minute of arc nautical mile, okay, from this zenith angle, from the zenith, to transpose a measurement to length, okay, on the surface of the earth. Since it has 60 minutes of arc, gives you 60 nautical miles. Interesting is that they assigned this distance nautical mile, right? Because we had miles before. We had statutory miles, land miles. Why didn't they use those, since they already had a standard, right? But they had to come up with a nautical mile, as they divided the degree into 60 minutes of arc, gave them 1.15 miles, okay, and they called that a nautical mile. On now, here's what happens. If you have if you measure surface, and then if you compare it to the angle from the center of the earth, use the regular orthographic view like they mostly do, then it gives you two different angles, okay? So unless no, the light from these stars doesn't come from here, from the star, because it's so far away. It comes from here, so it's parallel with this. But orthographic view, then it gives you two different angles. And look here, the GP of the star on the surface of the earth, so it straight down vertical on this tangent plane, okay? So it on this, but then you would also get two different, since you get two of elevation, you get two different zenith angles, and then you have two different, okay, just to get more confusing. Here's the kicker. Let's see. So we draw. This is the GP zenith. That's the GP observer. That's 90 degrees, okay? That's the, no doubt about it. And that's the observer's GP.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the GP zenith, observer zenith, and this is the zenith distance. And now here's what happens. Because of the 90 degrees, and here and here and here, you have the same angle here. Zenith angle, which gives you the zenith distance, right? But that's up in the sky. You don't know how big. You don't have, that's apparent. The star has an apparent position and size also. Since this angle, the zenith angle, is the same angle with this one, okay, so this becomes the zenith angle. And then when you go to the earth, once it hits the surface, it's a fixed, it's the distance between the observer and the GP, right? The center of the circle of equal altitude. That's the center of the circle, and this is the radius, circle of equal altitude. And wherever you are on this circle, you get the same elevation, same distance, you get the same radius. All right, radius of circle of. Now watch. Oops, I wanted to stop it there. Hold on, let me go back to this. Stop it. Okay, let me stop it. So 60 nautical miles per degree. All right. Imagine you measure an angle of elevation here of, let's say, okay, we got 50 degrees. Then what's the zenith angle? The zenith angle is the complement of the elevation angle. So it's 90 because we have 90 minus 50, it gives you 40 degrees, okay? Since we have 40 degrees, since we have 60 nautical miles per degree, which is the zenith distance, which is the radius of the circle of equal altitude, we can calculate this distance. We just do 40 times 60. What's that? 2400 nautical miles, right? So Ben, it's 2400. It's like in the thousands, okay? Which is a radius, which is a straight line, which the circle is in a plane, which is in a horizontal plane. If you do the surface of the, then you get thousands and thousands or tens of thousands of square miles of flat. Okay, but think about this: 2,400 miles is just the radius. So a circle has a diameter. So we don't have only 2,400 miles. We have 48 miles of straight. Okay. Now imagine you measure another elevation angle to another celestial body, which is here on this other side, and imagine you get 3,000 miles that way. That's 6,000 miles straight plus 4,800. So you can get 10,000 of straight flat surface, no problem. Okay? So this is what I'm saying, is no way around it. Navigation, astral, celestial navigation shows that the earth is flat, because you cannot measure an angle of elevation except from a. Oh, basically, that's the spiel. Let me see what I did here. Let
Now,
me
where did you get
close
that
it.
video? Is it,
I did it
you did that
on
video?
Doodle. Yeah. It's um let me show you here. Am I still sharing?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, look here. Doodly. You see this?
Doodly. I never even see.
Doodly. Okay. And you can
Huh.
do it yourself. You add scenes, like that. Look, you see, you can choose here and you add it, and yeah, it's a little bit tedious, and you cannot really put. I don't know. I'm a beginner, I don't know if you can really add your own pictures. Stop sharing. Okay, let me stop sharing.
Well, you add some verbiage to that. I think that'd be excellent presentation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I tried to make it simple. Yeah, she agrees with me, you see. How many kids do you have now?
Five.
Any new addition? Okay.
Yeah, five. My youngest is 2, so she cries all the time.
All right.
She was the one that was born while we were there in Romania, if you
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. Nice, man. I'm going at the end of the month to Romania, so
Oh,
I hope I'm
is
not
it?
gonna
Is
have.
are they somewhat normal now with the
No.
regulations, or do you have to go
It's
like
crazy.
quarantine?
It's a little bit easier now with regulation, but they're crazy over there. Plus, there's a problem with the war in Ukraine because we have border with Ukraine, you know.
Oh, really?
So yeah, we're right there in the middle. So if anything happens and catches me there, I don't know. They might draft me, you know. Yeah, yeah. You know, they
Oh,
said
crazy,
they
crazy
said
times.
it's crazy. It's crazy. They
You,
said
you
that.
probably have an interesting perspective from the Romanian perspective, what's happening over there.
Uh huh. Yeah. Look what I did, man. You see,
Oh, wow, nice.
I bought the sextant and the manual and every just to spite the Globers that started calling me out and saying, "Hey, you never even touched a sextant in your life," you know, because I was talking about the sex. Hey, the sextant is just a protractor, you know, a little bit more sophisticated, but it measures angles, you know, that's all it does. And it measures angles from the horizon to the celestial body. And then they correct for the observer's height to make it an elevation angle because it has to be from a horizontal plane, you know. So they
Uh-huh.
correct for the observer's height, and they say it in the manuals to bring the base of the angle at horizon level. Okay, that's what they say. So that's a horizontal plane over there, you know.
Nice.
No, so that's the thing. But you should see the hoops the Globers jump through to explain this. Then they say, no, 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 you don't measure the elevation angle, you measure the zenith angle, you know, you measure from the vertical. No, you don't. You measure the elevation angle and then you calculate subtracting from 90. So that's in all the manuals because they want to get rid of the horizontal plane that you need to measure the angle, you know.
Oh,
So
that's very good. I would actually love to head out on a boat and navigate just by using the stars. I think that would be so
mhm.
fascinating.
Yeah, what fascinates me is how they along the years, you know, how they made these tables with the positions of the projections of the stars. If you look into the astrolabe, you know, the astrolabe has plates with the path of stars drawn on it, you know. And because it's a restricted instrument a little bit, they have it for certain latitudes, you know. So they have it, let's say between 30 and 45 or something like that, they have one plate. So if you go to a different latitude, they have a different plate. And there's the lines drawn of the path of the stars, which is the GP, right, on the surface of the earth. But that's a straight surface, a plate, right? They insert the plate and then they measure the angle to the star, and in that little window shows up the position of the GP, you know. So this is how you can determine your position even with the astrolabe, you know.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you did that. You'll have to work on that video and make it public for everybody. Like, add some detailed verbiage
Well,
into it.
I'll publish this recording, but I'll send it to you, or if you want, publish this one if you want. But I'll send it to you if you want,
Yeah. I'm not sure what I can do with it. I'll have to figure something out.
if you want to use it. Yeah, yeah. So what else? But that's interesting. Look. If that's true and it has no other way it cannot be any other way until now. You have to come with some proof, right? Some proof, because just showing calculations and imagining celestial spheres, and because globers say no, 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 the sextant you can only use it on a globe. Yeah, but you cannot, because you got to measure from a horizontal plane, you know. So that's the problem. But until then, hey, we can say that every ship travels on a flat surface on the ocean. That's it, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember that old Loran video that I often
Oh
link
yeah, yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah.
They
That's
actually show the surface where the radio waves are going across the surface as a flat plane, which
exact.
is the only way it makes sense. Then these radio waves are supposedly hugging the curvature, hopping
Uh-huh.
over mountains, 500-mile tall mountains
Yeah.
of curvature, and then finding, for locating service, for
No.
positioning a vessel. I mean,
Listen.
it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense except for a flat plane.
Exactly. And because that's the way they triangulate the position, right? And it has to be line of sight. No.
Right.
Yeah, and there's a lot of examples of line of sight for miles and miles and thousands of miles. But here's what I've been like. I have a Facebook group, you know, in Romanian, and I've lost my patience, man. Although I've been, I believe, one of the most calm and tolerant guys around, and I lost my patience with the Globers.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, yeah.
I
When they
lost mine a long time ago.
you lost it long time. No, no, I held out for until now. But here's what they did. One guy did. He said, "Let's have a discussion." He said, "You know, let's have a discussion with demonstrations, with hypotheses, with proofs." And I said, okay, I'm all for that. That's what I want. I want this serious discussion, you know. Then we can discuss, not just making fun and mockery, okay? Because that's basically all they do. And I said, all right, let's do it. And he came up with 24-hour sun in Antarctica, right? He said, here's a video uh, with the sun filmed from the South Pole that goes around and stays above the horizon for 24 hours. So it goes 360 degrees. Of course, their claim is that uh, that's the southern rotation pole. So, and you can only have two rotation poles on a sphere, and because of the axis and stuff like that, right? So I said, all right. I looked at the video and I said the following: let's uh, let's agree that the video is legit. Okay, let's agree to that. We won't even check it. The second thing I said, let's agree that it's filmed from the so-called South Pole. Okay, I'll give you that. And then I said this. I will even give you the hypothesis. This is the observed phenomena, right? You observe the sun going around 300 degrees. I'll even give you the hypothesis. I said that you probably want to use. And I said, because, so this is the hypothesis. Because we observe the sun going 360 degrees around the South Pole, the cross. Hello. Yeah, I'm kind of busy. Can you tell me what you want? Yeah. No, not interested. Oops, sorry. Man, I get all these spam calls all the time. You know, they want to sell me all kind of things. All right, so I said the hypothesis, right? What's the cause of the observed phenomena? It's we observe that the sun goes around 360 degrees around the so-called South Pole because the Earth is rotating, right? That was the hypothesis. So that the cause is the rotation of the Earth, because we have to presuppose that the sun is fixed. That's not what we observe, right? We observe the sun moving, but we have to think, no, no, the sun is not moving, it's fixed, we're rotating, right? And then I said this, okay, now you take it away, take it from here. What's the next step? It's the hypothesis test. Please tell me how you test the hypothesis, yeah? And he changed the subject and he started talking about, you know, be, and then I said, okay, all the Globers in this group lost their privilege of posting until you guys address this problem, because this was a challenge, right? This was a challenge, and I responded to the challenge. Now it behooves you to address the problem. And until then, so they're pissed they cannot post on, but nobody addresses it, because the next step would be to say, okay, if the rotation of the Earth is causing the sun to appear to go around 360 degrees in 24 hours, the way to test that is to change the rotation of the Earth, to either stop it, you stop the rotation, and then you see the sun fixed, it doesn't go around anymore, or you speed up or you slow down, right? If you speed up, you put the double speed on it, then the sun would go around in 12 hours, not in 24 hours. Okay? So that's the only way to test it, but they cannot. That's impossible, right? It is not a viable hypothesis because you cannot speed up the rotation of the Earth or slow it down. Basically, you cannot manipulate the independent variable in the hypothesis, right? So it's not a viable hypothesis. So it's no proof. It's no proof. Not a scientific proof. Anyway, right? So this is where we are now. Now they're crying because I don't let them post.
I've tried for so many years to actually find a really honest,
No,
objective
it's tough.
thinking globe believer, and I never found one. They'd always resort to some sort of scheming, some sort of
Yeah,
just the games that they
I
play.
know, I know.
I don't care anymore about what new scheme that they're playing. It's like that, Bob, the straw man Bob, and
Yeah.
instead of actually addressing the fact that there is no globe curvature shadow. I mean, that's a big deal. That there
Yeah.
is absolutely no shadow when the angle of the sun goes up. That we should actually crawl up above the clouds, and instead it's like, oh, in the distance, look, there's the Venus, the belt of Venus. That proves it. It's like that's
Hmm.
not even the same subject that we're talking about.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly. And when I have an article, I found an article that says clearly that Venus will be visible at midnight and beyond, you know, and they
jeez.
just dismiss that one too. Hold on, if it's at midnight, we're on the opposite of the sun,
This
right?
refraction fixes that one
Yeah, yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
It
that is.
gets so absurd even talking with these people. It's
Mhm.
uh,
It
I
is.
don't know. It's for me. It seems like it's getting harder and harder to find time to make the videos and such. But
That too, man. I mean,
you're
I. s-
working, I'm working, and we don't get paid for this. So it's
Well, we don't. What I did, I posted my last videos. I just joined like other streams, where they mentioned flat Earth or something. They talked, and then we discussed over there. So then I just copied that and posted it. But yeah, it's tough because you cannot drag it out forever with dishonest and delusional people. That's the thing.
Yeah, one of the criteria I tried to find is a globe supporter who actually didn't believe in the moon landings.
Oh,
That
okay.
was a tricky one because it's
Uh-huh.
like, and once someone actually doubts the obviously fake moon landings, that puts them on that path where they can start to see
Yeah, yeah,
their
yeah, yeah.
problems. And so
Yeah,
just
yeah,
to find,
that's like
I mean,
a small step for Globers, but a
I
giant
mean,
leap
come
for
on, it's obvious.
mankind.
They faked that. That's you got to be a freaking moron by now if you
Uh-huh.
still believe in that nonsense. And so, um, yeah, I try to find someone like that would doubt the moon landings, but of
Uh-huh.
course they can't doubt that narrative because that's how they get their globe narrative. And
Yes,
so,
yes, yes.
I don't know.
Oh,
Do you remember the path? I mean, you're probably a moon landing skeptic first, right?
yeah, 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 yeah. Because yeah, I tell you, when the way it hit me, like this, I was watching JFK assassination
Uh huh.
conspiracy and stuff, right? And then in the recommendation came something about the moon landing hoax, right? I don't remember which video it was. Maybe that one, something with paper in the title. You remember?
Oh, what is that
Uh,
one?
that's a good. I don't remember it. Anyway, I saw that one. So, and then flat Earth. I don't remember if it was Matt Powland or Eric Dubé or
Mark
what's
Sargent.
Mark Sargent, one of these three guys, but they were in the beginning, right? And I laughed, man, when I saw, and I said, hey, let me see what these guys are talking about. This is gonna be good entertainment, for me. I said, and yeah, you got if you're honest and you have an open mind, you got to think about the arguments, when they say, okay, well, in the beginning they used to say the horizon rises at eye level always, regardless of height, right?
Uh-huh.
Uh, okay, now we gotta admit that's not really true because of atmospheric conditions and refraction. Maybe it comes down a couple of degrees or half a degree or something, depending on the height. But still, it rises. Okay, while on a sphere, the sphere starts to curve away from you downwards from your feet, starting from your feet. If you rise up in height, you're gonna see further, but the horizon gonna be lower. It's gonna descend, right? It's gonna go down. But
Who's what person who's ever sat on a boat in the middle of a lake or ocean thought, "Wow, that edge goes really far down below my feet."
yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a slide. Hold on to
Yeah.
like
Who's ever
that.
thought that or seen it or even yeah, you look back on, you go, "Gosh, how did they get away with this for so long?"
Yeah, yeah,
It's just
totally.
so silly, but
It is.
uh, I love flat Earth because it's been brought out so much more thoughts. I was actually out hiking this morning and just having that open mind because we were just looking at the mountains and I hate to say it, man, they really do look like ancient tree stumps.
Uh-huh.
And you start to ponder that thought. It's I'm not saying it's a fact. I'm not one of those people say I know for a fact or
Yeah.
anything. I just think it's an interesting theory.
Hmm.
And but we were just looking at my son was like, yeah, that very much looks like just a dirty old stump,
Uh-huh.
looking at the opposite mountain. And it does. It really does. And you're just like, wow, it- 8 years ago, I would have just thought I was a complete moron. If but that's the thing that just 8 years later, I would be actually doubting the origins of where mountains actually came from. And
No, but yeah, the thing is that okay, it's interesting, but there's no way to validate
no,
it,
no, yeah, it's
so
fun to speculate,
unless
but
we find the giant stump somewhere buried, but like buried from Utah to Tennessee, right? Something like that. But yeah, look, you could say, all right, hey, in nature, there's like certain shapes happening, right?
Hmm.
So if a mountain takes the same shape as a tree, right? Maybe it's the same process or something similar. You know, I cannot say, all right, these were trees. Okay, but I'll tell you one more interesting than the trees. Did you see the guy with the elephant, with the giant elephant? There's a mountain that looks like an elephant. Okay, and he went in there and he researched the biology of the elephant, and he finds all the, like in the ear and the trunk and stuff, you know, he finds features from elephant structure and biology in that mountain. So
Oh,
you
that's weird.
you could make an easier leap, like, yeah, this was a giant elephant, you know, like that. It just petrified, it died and petrified, you know.
That's interesting. I see that, one of the counter arguments I always said is, maybe it's just the same creation process.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very similar creation on how trees and mountains were created very similarly, and that's why they do appear similar, just like maybe
Uh-huh.
with even animals and
Yeah,
other things.
that's what I was saying.
And
That
so
would be an
maybe
logical explanation, okay? Because it is no proof either way, right?
right.
But it would be like a reasonable explanation, logical, whatever.
But that's what separates us, is that we can look at those things. Okay, speculate. It's fun. It's interesting. It's fun to
Dude,
ponder. But
and we
nowadays
don't
you
get
can't do
angry
that.
with those guys who come up with this, you know?
Yeah.
We don't mock them and stuff like that. If what was that video, no trees on flat earth,
Uh huh.
something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't see flat earthers mocking him, you
A
know.
few of them did, but
They did.
overall,
Well,
most they
even
did.
if they don't agree, yeah, but the most of them, they don't mock him.
But science, they speculate about everything. I mean, current mainstream science, but they call it fact.
Yeah.
That's absolutely not fact. I've been working on a video. It's been a slow process because I keep changing the format, but it's about looming. I don't know if you've ever looked into it.
Yes.
It absolutely does not exist, but it's this thing they call looming. And if you look up, like, if I share your screen sometime, but do a Google search for looming boat, and you'll see all these pictures of what look like floating boats.
Floating
Now,
boats, a mirage.
use any common sense. You look at it, and you go, hey, on a lot of these, you can actually see the horizon line behind the boat.
Yeah, if you
It's
change
mirroring
the
effect.
levels and stuff, then it gets more definite, the horizon behind the boat, right?
Right, right. You get a mirroring effect. It's reflecting the
Exactly.
sky, and it creates this illusion of the
So
boat floating.
exactly.
Very easy to understand if you just think about it with any logical scientific mind. But
So that's not looming. That's not
But you look
looming.
at all these pictures and you look at all these articles and you put up on the videos on the internet, and they're all about this thing bending over and floating up in the sky because of refraction has caused it to float in the sky. All of them are hogwash. And they
Okay.
have entire articles all about this hogwash event that has never happened, has never been witnessed. Show
Ben,
me that boat slowly floating and floating and floating to get
yeah,
above the
yeah,
sky.
yeah, yeah.
It's utter
Levitating right
nonsense.
up. Okay. Hey, I don't even mind those things, okay? What the crux of the matter is when they say the horizon is refracted from behind the horizon. You know, that's crazy. All right, and it makes
Yeah.
no sense when they say the horizon is brought up from behind the horizon. You cannot do that. You only have one horizon. You cannot bring up a horizon from behind the horizon, you know.
Yeah, it's such
Yeah.
nonsense. You say, where did the bulge go?
Yeah.
You say, if you're saying that the bulge is, we're seeing over it, where is the bulge? Did it just flatten out? Did
Yeah.
they say it disappeared? You ask all the different globe propagandists, they don't have a consistent answer. They have no idea. Where did this giant bulge go? And then this horizon behind that just
Yeah,
lifted
exactly,
up, and now it's at a
exactly.
different angle. It's like, what? The absurdity of and the fact that they can hold on to that belief for,
while
again,
while
how
staying
many of them
straight
actually
on
believe
the
it? I don't know.
x-axis, right? While staying straight from left to right. Yeah.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. I really got to keep making videos and finish my series because I had
Uh-huh.
a whole bunch of like have 100 videos I wanted to make, but
Wow.
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of
People
work,
don't
man. But
realize it. It's a lot of work, and I actually have back pains from sitting from too much, and so
dude, let me tell you, I had back pain too. But you see, when I lay down and or I sit, and when I get up, ooh, I almost hardly can move, you know.
yeah.
But then when I move around a little bit, yeah, then it loosens up. And hey, we're getting old. I don't know about you, but I'm
Yeah, I
talking
am.
about myself.
I'll make a video, and
I'm
it
getting up
sometimes
there.
takes 7, 8 hours straight where I'm just editing videos and stuff like that, and all of a sudden you'll stand up like, oh,
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
can't,
yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
be hunched over all day, and just because
I hear you, bro.
and what do I get? I get a bunch of glow propagandists making videos about how stupid I am, and
Yeah.
like, oh, you don't know
Well,
what diet is? It's like,
hey, what do
oh.
you use? You use a green screen
Oh,
or
this
background or
it's just a background thing. I turn it on, and it's probably annoying for some people, but I have my kids are still waking up, and they
uh-huh,
might
yeah,
come
yeah.
out in their underwear or
No,
something.
I just didn't know so you're
Just
in
on
Skype, right? Can you
yeah,
use a
Skype. Check your
background in
background.
Skype?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not that
Oh, it's really
technolo
easy. It's just a little button there.
technologically advanced. Like that. Yeah.
It's really good talking to you again, and
It's nice talking to you. I don't know. You want to get off the grid in Tennessee, man?
um, as much as I can,
Yeah. You're
we're
gonna
looking, drilling a well or piping
have
it
a
in, pipe.
garden too, and to
Yeah.
grow
Just
your own food and stuff.
animals, husbandry, stuff like that. But
Uh-huh.
like piping in water was $1,000, but to actually drill a well is 8,000. So it's like,
Wow.
oh,
But it's your water, man. If you
yeah,
drill the
that's
well,
a
huh?
lot of money to spend.
It is, it is, it is.
So,
No,
we'll figure it out. I hope we can get there soon, but it's I don't know. Maybe God has other ideas in mind. And
yeah. Hey, we moved in a new house too last year,
oh, nice.
It's crazy out here, man. I mean, we were
Where
at
are
the
you at in
right,
Arizona?
yeah. We're just, well, we used to live in Scottsdale, like the good area, the best area. We moved a little bit to the west, but still close, so it's a beautiful area. It's a little bit out of the, well, on the north side of town,
Uh-huh.
so yeah. If you come to Phoenix sometimes,
Oh,
just
I definitely would love to. I love Arizona.
let me
I
know,
visit my
man. Let
sister
me know
there.
ahead of time, and then we can meet here. You can stop by, and there's plenty of room. And we bought the smallest house, okay, but we get lost here. I have to go look for my, where are you? Where are you?
Nice.
Yeah. Hmm.
Well, anyway, I probably better head off. I'm gonna take the family up to the mountains again. That's what I
Uh-huh.
do.
Yeah.
Gonna go have a picnic today. So
Great. All right, man. So if I pass through Salt Lake, I'll give you a heads up if I have time to stop.
yeah, and hopefully I'll still
But
be here or not. Actually, hopefully I'll be
yeah,
gone. But anytime you're coming through town, let me know.
right. Okay. Thanks for having this chat, Ben. Always a pleasure. And I don't know, we should do it a little bit more often, like not every year and a half or something like that. Like at
Yeah, we
least
should.
every year, because
Yeah.
last time we did it was Christmas. I know you had the Christmas tree in the back and stuff like that, right? So, or right after Christmas. When was it? Maybe January or something like that. A year and a half ago,
I don't
right?
know. I didn't
Yeah,
recall.
I think. All right. Well,
All right.
nice talking to you, man. Nice seeing you.
Thank you,
And
Adi, and God bless, and we'll be in touch.
yeah, keep in touch.
All right, take care.
Take care. I'll stop the recording now.
C'est la tomato!